Good evening, members of the Board of Regents, honored guests, faculty and administrative colleagues, parents, relatives, and friends of our graduates, and most importantly of all, graduates of the class of 2014. I extend to you on behalf of the university a cordial welcome to these exercises. Our Prelude and Processional music this evening was performed by David Spicer. Please join me in showing his appreciation to him for his work. Our ceremony will begin with the presentation of the colors by Lieutenant Chris Cervoni, Sergeant Jerry Irwin, Officers Joe Margolis, and Robert Nelson, members of the CCSU Police Department. Our national anthem will be presented by soloist Anna Hilby. Anna is an undergraduate student at CCSU and is a member of the University Singers. This year marks CCSU's 165th year in higher education. We are the first and the oldest public institution of higher education in the state of Connecticut. Tonight we mark our 59th year of graduate education, and we pay special tribute to our graduate students as we celebrate their achievements as they receive their advanced degrees. Graduate students help to define us as a university. You personify what we at CCSU hold in high esteem: the pursuit of excellence in advanced studies, in the disciplines and the professions, a commitment to scholarly inquiry, continued learning and service, and achievements of distinction in the classroom, the workplace, and the community. Today ends many years of study and sacrifice on the part of you and your family and friends. I congratulate all of you. The entire university joins me in extending congratulations to you on your success. We know all of this celebration belongs to many people, some of them who are here today, who have helped you during your pursuit of your degree. Graduates, please join me now in giving public recognition to the fathers, mothers, husbands, wives, children, relatives, and friends who have done so much to support you. Without their help, it would certainly have been more difficult. Why don't you stand up and look around and find the people you want to thank?
Skip the invocation and national anthem. Skip to the invocation and national anthem.
Where? Yeah, I already read that. I'm going to have them do it after I do this.
Right here. They didn't do it yet. You didn't read this.
I know, I haven't got there yet. Following the national anthem, Rabbi Andrew Heckman will deliver the invocation. Rabbi Heckman is graduating tonight with a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. Please rise for the presentation of colors, singing of the national anthem, and remain standing for the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, God, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and enabled all of us to reach this most joyous occasion. We read in chapter 11 of the book of Deuteronomy, Re'eh, Anochi noten lifnechem hayom, bracha v'klala. Look, open your eyes and see. For today, this day, right now, at this very moment, there is placed before you blessing and curse. As in the Chinese proverb, we live in interesting times. Ours is a time of abundant blessing, but with that comes the curse of vulnerability. So many lack the esteem and the confidence to transcend the fears of daily life. We, however, by our commitment to continuing our education, clearly state our choice to engage not with fears of helplessness, but rather with the opportunity to magnify our blessings. We come together in celebration from many cultures and differing religious traditions as one community, bound together by our mutual resolve to tikkun olam, repairing this world, l'shem chinuch, in the name of advancing education, making our communities stronger by furthering our training and recognizing that regardless of what names we use to describe the unity of the one, we exist to serve a higher purpose. On this day, we come together in celebration of our academic accomplishments with a sense of excitement and also with awe. For with our blessings of being present this day comes a sense of ever greater responsibility to aspire toward even loftier heights, to transcend the differences that work to separate us, and to instead sanctify the bonds of our common humanity that inextricably bind us together as one. All our faith traditions demand nothing less. It is with this recognition that we are all B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. We dream, we aspire, we hope, and we pray that our diversity serve not to draw darkness upon our differences, but instead serve to shine an ever brighter light on our mutuality. This is the opportunity of this day. This is the blessing that is ours. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. Amen.
I would now like to recognize our faculty, highly qualified and dedicated people whose life work it has been to build this fine university. Over and over again, our faculty demonstrate that they are deeply committed to high learning standards and teaching of teaching and learning. I want to give tonight's graduates gathered here the opportunity to recognize those faculty with their applause. I wish that you would all recognize them, and faculty, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. This year, 83% of our graduates are Connecticut residents. Our remaining students come from 21 other states and 11 foreign countries. We have a first to celebrate tonight. The 9 inaugural graduates of our Law Enforcement Master's Degree program. Master of Science in Criminal Justice program is a collaborative effort between Central Connecticut State University and the West Hartford Police Department to bring graduate level preparation to the field of law enforcement. Tonight's graduates represent several Connecticut police departments. They represent the drive that is in so many of you to work full-time while pursuing your degrees. I'd also like to tell you briefly about 2 other students that exemplify this. Their stories tell a lot about them and a lot about CCSU. So Chris Costello, if you will rise, please. Chris will be awarded, if he's here. Chris will be awarded a master's degree in biology tonight. He works in environmental compliance for Tilcon, a major player in Connecticut's construction industry, and they have supported his studies here at Central. He has just completed an outstanding project, the limnological dynamics of a small urban lake, Batterson Park Pond. The lake is located on the Farmington-New Britain line, not far from here. It serves more than 1,000 Hartford children during the summer. It's the largest free day camp in the nation. It's critical that we understand the science and health of that lake, and Chris's 400-page study goes a long way in helping us to do that. He's been awarded the Department of Biology's Outstanding Master's Student Award not once but twice. After high school, Adrian Dutkowitz wasn't sure he was ready for college, so he enlisted in the U.S. Marines and served in Iraq. Last May, he earned his bachelor's degree from CCSU, graduating summa cum laude with a double major. Tonight, he will receive his Master of Arts in Biomolecular Sciences. Adrian excelled academically at CCSU. He conducted extensive research through the years that he has presented at Eastern College's science conferences and a number of other fora. His dedication to his studies paid off, and we are proud to announce that Adrian is headed to the University of Vermont, where he has been accepted into the Cellular Molecular Biomedical Sciences PhD program. On behalf of the faculty and the administration of CCSU, I congratulate Chris and Adrian and all of you who are graduating this evening, because all of you represent a very special story. Before calling Provost Lovett to the lectern, I am honored to present to you the distinguished members of the platform party who will not be recognized later during the ceremony. Please hold your applause until I have introduced all the groups. And as I read your name, would you please stand and remain standing till I've read all the names. Nick Pedanico, Associate Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Lou Pisano, Chief Human Resources Officer. Richard Baishu, Chief Administrative Officer. Charlene Casamento, Chief Financial Officer. Carolyn Mannion, Special Assistant to the President. Rosa Rodriguez, Chief Diversity Officer. James Estrada, Chief Information Officer. And Simak Sojai, Dean of the School of Business. Please recognize these people. I am now pleased to call upon Dr. Carl Lovett, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Lovett serves as a Senior Officer for all academic affairs, faculty, and academic support activities. His diligent efforts and positive attitude are appreciated by all of us. Dr. Lovett?
Thank you, President Evening. Good evening. I'm pleased to introduce Mr. Richard Balducci, who's here tonight to bring greetings to this year's graduates on behalf of the Board of Regents. Mr. Balducci graduated from Central Connecticut State University with a degree in education. Mr. Balducci is a 20-year state legislator whose record of service includes 2 terms as Speaker of the House, the highest ranking position in the House of Representatives, and 1 term in the state Senate. He served as a member of the Board of Trustees for the Connecticut State University system between 1995 and 2011 and served as the Board of Regents Vice Chair. Please welcome Mr. Richard Balducci.
Good evening. You know, I've done many of these, and you are graduate students, and you're a pretty noisy bunch, I'll tell you that, for grad students. And if you think you're happy tonight, look around at your parents, grandparents, husbands, wives, children, significant others. They're happier than you are that this is over. You know, I vaguely remember graduating from Central, vaguely. When I got my degree, the ink was put on parchment paper. But it's kind of a special evening for me too, not only being back at my alma mater, but my daughter Lee is receiving her master's degree tonight, so I'm kind of happy about that. And with that, I would like to bring you greetings from the Board of Regents of Higher Education, and I'm honored to be here at this very special occasion for each and every one of you. I join with President Miller, your faculty and staff who helped get you here tonight also, in receiving these degrees, with your family, friends who supported you through the years to help make this all come about. Today is a significant milestone for you, and you should be incredibly proud of your achievement. We certainly are, because we know the difficult journey it has been for many of you to get to this point. As you well know, there's no shortcut to earning an advanced degree, but the benefit of doing so is extraordinary for you and especially for us. Our joy rests in not only what you have accomplished and the meaning it holds for you and your family, but what it means to the broader community beyond Central. For decades, Central has worked hard to educate students from all facets of the community, knowing their growth as scholars, as citizens who will advance our state, our society, and our country. Our world desperately needs leaders such as you, who are committed to a new beginning. People who are driven by curiosity, by intelligence, and by creativity. You've proven yourselves to be such individuals, and that's the reason you're here this evening. So as you look back on your time at Central and reflect on your individual accomplishment and everyone who helped you get to that point, and as you reflect on your achievements as you move forward. Think about where you've been, where you want to go, because the world is wide open to you. With that, I wish you congratulations and good luck from the Board of Regents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Balducci, for your support of Central Connecticut State University. I'm now pleased to call upon the President of the Graduate Student Association, Nathan Baird, to speak on behalf of the Graduate Student Association. This evening, Nathan will receive the Master of Science degree in Counseling with the specialization in Student Development in Higher Education.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Levitt. Hello and welcome, faculty, staff, family, friends, and the graduate class of 2014. Woo! I'd like to take a few moments to reflect on my graduate experience here at CCSU. To do this, I must first share my favorite quote by Albert Hubbard, an American philosopher. To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. While I've always understood Albert Hubbard's quote to be facetious, I've always, in that he's really encouraging us to embrace criticism. My experience here at CCSU has made me think a little more about how truly powerful this message really is. First, Hubbard says, to avoid criticism, do nothing. How could we possibly avoid criticism in graduate school? Well, while we entered seeking higher knowledge, what we received is far more than knowledge. We have been critiqued, challenged, day in and day out. Looking back, it is hard to believe that a young man such as myself from Newport, Maine, is graduating today with his master's degree from Central Connecticut State University. For me, this degree is more than just knowledge and critique. It has become a lifelong experience, and I know that here, I did something. Second, Hubbard said, to avoid criticism, say nothing. Now, if it weren't for my family, my friends, and mentors who encouraged me to speak up and share my ideas, I would not be the same person that I am today. Now, some of you may be thinking that you encouraged me a little bit too much because you really can't keep me quiet anymore. All in all, I know that saying something put me in great situations, debate, and many times learning more about myself in the end. The last line of Hubbard's quote is, to avoid criticism, be nothing. Like many of you, I believe that I am and have been a learner, an advisor, a supervisor, a colleague, a friend, and a mentor. Our experience leading up to today has made us who we are. But what is most important is that you believe and you know who you are. I challenge you all to continue to be you, mentors, lifelong learners, and an inspiration for the younger generation. Because of this, I am and we are something. In closing, I believe that we have embraced criticism through the ups and the downs. Many would say our time here at Central Connecticut State University has flown by. Then again, some of us are saying it's about time. Then again, after all the long hours, hard work, reading, and writing, it is all paid off. We are going to be graduates with an advanced degree from Central Connecticut State University. That is a huge accomplishment for us all, and we should be extremely proud of ourselves, just like our friends and families are here today. So I'd like to thank my family, my mentors here at CCSU for always supporting me and encouraging me to be me. Tiffany, Maria, Kathy, Sue, Colleen, Scott, and Otis, you all mean so much to me, and I greatly appreciate your time and wisdom. I'd also like to thank my friends and my family, especially my family. Thank you, Mom, Dad, Jenna, my little sister, for joining us and having a great time for me on my journey. Congratulations to the class of 2014. Because you did something, you are someone. Now go show them who you are, and surely you will go far. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. We are fortunate to have as our commencement speaker this evening, Mr. Angelo Messina. Mr. Messina is a proud CCSU graduate. He's the Vice President, Global Financial Services for United Technologies. Prior to this position, Mr. Messina served as Vice President and Chief Financial Officer for Otis Elevator Company and Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at Carrier Corporation. He led the UTC Corporate Strategy Department in 2001, UTC's Planning Department from 1997 to 2000, and served as the Vice President for Strategic Planning at Pratt & Whitney. Mr. Messina began his career with UTC as a staff attorney at Carrier and held positions of increasing responsibility within the legal departments of Carrier, Otis, and UTC before becoming Director of Investor Relations. Prior to UTC, Mr. Messina held financial positions at Price Waterhouse and Gerber Scientific. Mr. Messina earned a bachelor's in accounting magna cum laude from Central Connecticut State University, a law degree from the University of Connecticut, and a master's in management from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He's a member of the Connecticut and New York bars and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Mr. Messina was a trustee for the Connecticut State University system from 2003 to 2011. This year, Central partnered with UTC as part of their Employee Scholar Program. We look forward to a strong relationship in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a distinct privilege and pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Angelo Messina.
Thank you. As you probably figured out with that long list, I'm a pretty old guy. It's nice to be back here at Central where I started my college career over 40 years ago. Now, a lot has changed since then, and I'm reminded of every day when I look in the mirror. But some things haven't changed. Many of you, like me, are the first in your families to get a college education. Many of you, like me, got your graduate degree while working full-time. Central graduates are special because they know how to multitask, and that's what life and business is all about. I'm a big supporter of public higher education. It's a great equalizer. It destroys barriers to entry that are often based upon class, race, and gender. Your graduate education provides you with an admission ticket to better opportunities that are foreclosed through those that don't have the same education. It was a ticket to a better future for me, and I know it will be a ticket to a better future for you and your families. You know, the economy of the past 6 years has been much tougher than usual, but it is slowly recovering. And now you have an edge over others in the job market because you have a graduate degree. During a difficult economic period almost 20 years ago, United Technologies discovered that it could no longer offer its employees lifetime employment. So the company made a commitment to sponsor employee education under a newly created Employee Scholar Program, allowing employees the opportunity to be employable for a lifetime thanks to the education they earned. I'm proud to report, as you heard from Provost Lovett, that Central is a partner in the UTC Scholar Program, which means that our employees qualify for tuition reimbursement. Like our employee scholars, the degree that you earn today, your graduate degree, will make you employable for a lifetime too. You know, commencement speakers typically provide some wisdom on life with the graduating class. So I did what many of you would do if you were in my position. I Googled on the internet graduate wisdom, and I found this sage advice for graduates. Pay off your student loans, live within your means, establish a strong credit score. Now, as a finance guy, this resonated with me, but I hear you chuckling and you're laughing at the orthodoxy of this wisdom. So let's conduct a little thought experiment. Let's be provocative, and let's turn this banker wisdom upside down. Go out and borrow as much money as anyone is willing to lend you. Spend it lavishly on your wildest dreams, and then work the rest of your life to pay it off. Now, your life might be more exciting, at least during the spending part, than the traditional path of working years and years to build an essay. But what if everybody in the world were to do this and follow this approach? We'd have a financial crisis. We'd have a property bubble with overvalued real estate. We'd have subprime mortgage defaults. We'd have a long and painful period of debt deleveraging, a situation similar to what we experienced over the past 6 years. So much for our thought experiment. Maybe the traditional wisdom of financial discipline isn't so old-fashioned after all. So along these lines, let me share with you some of the other results from my internet search. From the NPR science correspondent Robert Crowledge, don't send out resumes waiting for things to happen, just go and do it. Inspirational wisdom that could come from a Nike commercial. What Crowledge is advocating is you be a person that gets things done. Years ago, someone told me if you wanted to get something done, find a busy person to do it. And I thought, what nonsense. You're better to find somebody that's not so busy. But over the years, I've learned the wisdom in the saying. People who aren't so busy sometimes don't get it done. That's why the busy person is so busy. You know, former Secretary of State General Colin Powell coaches graduates that perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. The general believes that optimism means the difference between winning and losing. And he makes this analogy of optimism to an individual facing an angry mob armed with sticks and stones. Give that individual a bazooka, and he becomes an optimist, and the odds turn in his favor. Optimism is like that bazooka. It will turn the odds in your favor. From the science fiction writer J.K. Rowling, we have the observation that failure is no fun. It can be awful, but living so cautiously that you never fail is worse. As she recalls a period in her life when she was down on her luck with a failed marriage and no job, and it forced her to return to her writings of what ultimately would become the world-renowned Harry Potter series of books. In the category of not taking yourself too seriously, Stephen Colbert counsels graduates not to be afraid to be a fool. Say yes to everything. Now, saying yes to everything will get you into trouble from time to time, but he believes it's a much better alternative than saying no to everything, becoming a cynic, and foreclosing yourself to new possibilities. From Arnold Schwarzenegger, the former governor of California, we have this advice. Trust yourself. Ignore the naysayers. Work your butts off and give something back. And finally, Michael Lewis, the prodigious author of many books, including Liar's Poker, Moneyball, The Blind Side, and Flash Boys, reminds graduates to never forget how lucky you are and the obligations that come with it. Lewis suggests that you are lucky to have received the education you have, and you're lucky for the opportunities that will come from it, and that you should use this newly gained knowledge to help others as well as yourselves. So how do we synthesize all this internet wisdom on this very special day for you? Because of the education you received here at Central, all of you are going to be presented with tremendous opportunities. If you trust yourselves, if you work hard, if you play well with others, and if you recognize that the gifts you receive need to be paid forward, you will have many years of success in your professional lives and in your personal lives too. Life is about to get a lot more exciting for you. Congratulations and good luck.